You the worm.
Your Honor, I told you Toontown is coming. You didn't take me serious.
It's much bigger than that. They're trying to silence us. Happy Sunday fun day, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly live stream where we get to hang out with you. If you're joining us real time at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we get to read your comments in the live chat. And Jeremy usually likes to start the live off with a song.
Your Honor, I told you Contempt was coming to Otter Creek, and you didn't take me serious. You just said my breath started to breathe. I wanted to shove things in Jeremy's backside. I said I had a picture of, you know what? We should go with the old.
We'll revisit that song maybe later.
Well, we moved into a town with no one around.
Only nobody would be around.
We didn't anticipate getting stalked, did we?
Not at all.
Oh, to get away from the snow. Isn't a snowman? I learned this from the Elvis movie. Isn't a snowman the same as a con man? And we tried to get away from the snow, and then the snow followed us and stalked us and moved across the street from us.
It sure did. And it took the time to write a letter to the judge in Ohio and Florida.
Explaining that they moved to Otter Creek because she thought it'd be a great business opportunity. Prices of property were going to go skyrocketing.
Based on what he was going to do with the property because of a video she watched.
Do you have proof that Lynette watches videos? We'll get to that in just a moment. Oh, to get away from the snow. Went in a 2-inch line and everything was fine till they tried to steal all my dough. Mary was in town hall. Couldn't do math at all. Just kept following the law. Sending emails to Worm and hoping he'd confirm. No one would know all their flaws. Lynette and John, they're running their cons, trying to get any money they can. Everything around them dies and then you fake cries. They'll end up by a river in a van or jail, whichever comes first. You know what? Jail. Well, there were signs all over town. Now they're taken down. Everybody knows who done it.
What about a white-hatted broom?
I think those got outlawed.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. They're living in a shed with no permit. Do you think Lynette's still living in a shed, or do you think she upgraded to the camper?
I think she, if I was to guess, she probably took the camper back.
Whoa! Well, let's face it. Brooke is living the good life now. Doesn't have to listen to her. Well, Russ was texting down. He was telling him it's on. Let's give the world a show. We always wanted fame. Now they know our name. In the meetings, always vote no. Now, George, there's going to be a little bit of a change here. Try and follow with me, okay?
Okay, I'll try my best.
They're all making threats. Fans are taking bets. Who's going to be the second in jail? Did you catch that?
That's good.
Will be Mary, Russ, or Don, Lynette, or Landon. We just know it won't be what the Hales. Just know it won't be what the Hales. Because I moved into a town with no one around. All to get away from the snow. Put in a 2-inch line. Everything was fine. Until they tried to steal all my dough.
Give it up for Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you.
You like the new verse there? You like that?
The first song that we're gonna revisit in the future.
Well, okay, we can revisit that.
It's in the works.
We're working on it.
Oh my goodness, where do we start? So much has happened. Where
do we start? We start right here. Okay. We are going to address court on Friday. But before we do, and we will get there, there are a few things that I want to share. Number one, anybody claiming that they were there in court or they had any firsthand experience in court are pathological, habitual liars. Because this type of situation, domestic violence, civil protection orders, these are closed court cases. Nobody is allowed in. As a matter of fact, the judge was ready to kick her lawyer out because he's so incompetent, he didn't even get his notice of appearance into the court. And that's what started it for them. And anybody who claims they're related to me and they know some inside information is also lying because we haven't shared anything with anybody. It's a closed court, and it did not go well for Lynette at all. But we'll get back to that.
No, did not go well at all. Unless you are legal counsel or one of the parties involved with the contempt of court, no one is allowed.
Or a witness. But
No
even
one
there's a
is
separation of witnesses in this type of court case. And so witnesses cannot be together unless that witness is the first one on the stand, and that witness can then stay for the entire hearing. So I will share this. George and I are still so perplexed that we don't know if her lawyer is a fan of us based on the job he didn't do for her, or is just that incompetent. So
I personally think the ones that claim to know what happened in court in Ohio, it's all based on hearsay on what she's sharing with people, because we know she's behind the scenes talking to people, which is fine. She can do that. But a lot of her supporters also have comprehension
deficit.
Can you say comprehension disabilities?
Disabilities.
Could you say disabilities?
You know what?
I mean, a lot of her biggest supporters are
2024.
very similar to, like, their behavior is very similar to hers.
2024. Say disabilities.
Just unhinged.
I give you permission.
People.
I give you permission.
What can I say?
Disabilities.
Oh yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. What did happen this week? We're going to get to the court case. We are going to get.
We are, but there's just so much to talk about and to share with you guys. The very first time we ever went to court in Ohio, I wasn't even allowed in the courtroom. Correct. I had to wait out in the hallway, not even in the hallway, like out in the waiting area. There's like a waiting area in the hallway close to the courtroom, and then there's another waiting area out, like a common area further out.
Because of the nature of these hearings, they are completely and totally sealed and closed off to anybody.
Yes.
She couldn't even be she had to be so separated that she couldn't potentially eavesdrop hearing through the doors.
Correct.
And nobody's allowed in.
And so a lot of you that know how to access the Levy County docket and look at documents and look at this, that doesn't exist in Ohio. So you guys can continue to look, but you're never going to find it because it's not public record and it's not open.
The nature, the domestic violence, because of the nature of it, it is all sealed. You will not find anything. And so if you recall, in the very first Ohio hearing, Lizzie Bailey tried to actually be on the Zoom and immediately got kicked out.
So if you remember, the Ohio judge said, I have an E. Bailey on the Zoom, and
Elizabeth Bailey.
E. Bailey, can you please identify yourself? And there was crickets. All you heard was crickets. And because there was crickets, the judge gave her the boot and kicked her out.
And the judge was ready to boot Lynette's lawyer out, which that's a whole nother issue, from the very, and that's how this hearing started. Like completely and totally, let's anger the judge, like complete and total incompetence. And that's left George and I going, he's doing our job for us better than we can do for us. But we'll get to that after. We'll get to that after we.
So what do you want to talk about first?
Jeez,
you know what? Much. There is a lot. So let me pull up something that I wanted to address. Let's look up the definition of being an accessory, shall we?
Okay, okay. I would assume you're going to start addressing Lynette the morning of Crook's arrest, actually finally telling the Levy County Sheriff's Office that she had firsthand knowledge of John pulling the firearm out on Wes and Jacqueline and Patricia, and then helped him hide the firearm, then gave it up to the Levy County deputies, and then begged Channel 20 to come over and hear her side of the story as she lied through her gums.
Yeah, but she ran.
We have video of her running.
Yeah.
And yet she's concerned about videos of her on YouTube, and yet she's begging Channel 20. By the way, Channel 20 now has a police report. Channel 20 is potentially going to do a follow-up on her lies in that actual interview as she begged them to film her. So there's some she begs to film, and then others she claims she
doesn't want to be filmed, or her child. The very first time she was ever interviewed on Channel 20 News, she had the child up on her hip. She was holding the child on her hip in front of Town Hall. But this is the same woman who's disabled.
Who does 24-mile, 10-hour treks with sandals in 90-plus degrees. I have water right here. In 90-plus degrees and asphalt, who claims to be disabled. And those who want to claim the child was not in the stroller, the child is in the stroller. And yes, we have videos. And those who want to claim she had a friend picking her up, a friend would have picked her up at her makeshift home. A friend would have picked her up at Herschel's, where there's a bench to sit. A friend would not pick her up miles down the road. Who picked her up were the Popo, the law, which we have video of that as well.
So back to the definition of an accessory. So let's pull it up. The definition of being an accessory to someone being charged with a felony. Being an accessory after the fact occurs after the crime has been committed, which it was.
So July 3rd is when the crime was committed.
Correct.
Okay.
When John
Crook
pulled out his firearm
revolver, we know now, 9mm revolver at
Wes and his 8-year-old daughter, yes, and his female friend who was a passenger in the vehicle.
We do know that, yes. It's all confirmed. We have all the proof, the receipts, the screenshots.
Yes. And it involves actions taken to shield the offender from legal consequences.
So she was lying. So when they're talking about,
so the offender would have been John.
So when they're talking about conflicting witnesses reports, they're talking about Lynette, and she did not tell the truth originally. Then she told the truth. In other words,
she wasn't home.
She was protecting Crook, right?
And she wasn't home when they came to interview him.
Well, Crook is blind. He can't see.
Remember, she told Channel 20 News, I wasn't home, but this is what he told me.
But he would never do that, even though that morning she told the police, yeah, he did it, and here's where we hid the gun.
Yeah.
Woo!
So the question arises, a lot of you want to know, will Lynette be charged with being an accessory?
So what do you think, George?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like I do want to give kudos to Sergeant Kinnick for doing a very thorough investigation. He did tell me at the end of his investigation there at the post office, the day of the incident, that you can ask Wes whatever you want, but there will be an open investigation.
And it remained open.
Correct.
Very much so. It remained open. And
Jeremy read the report to you guys and he shared it. It literally took 3 attempts. And John denied it 3 times to finally where he said, fine, I did it, because Lynette threw him under the bus and said that the defendant lied to you guys.
He didn't tell the truth until they said, we have the gun.
Yeah.
And she told us the truth.
Yes.
And then he went, yeah, I did it.
So the report didn't indicate where the gun, where the firearm was hidden. But I would think that tampering with evidence is a serious matter, isn't it?
I have a feeling the state is absolutely going after Lynette. I have a feeling the state will be. Now, I don't have proof of this, But I have a feeling that the state will be going after Lynette. And Wes, who I'm sure is in the chat right now, is working with the victim's advocate and with the state's
attorney,
ensure the state goes after Lynette for accessory of a crime.
Yeah, he has spoken with the state attorney. I don't have a name confirmed, and he does have an additional appointment scheduled to speak to the state attorney again. But we don't have a date yet. So does anyone want to take a guess of where the pew pew was hidden? Let us know in the chat.
I do.
Let us know in the chat where you think the pew pew was hidden.
Dead turtle shell.
I think it's in the steak holes, like the
where the feces is.
Where the where she called Levy County to tell them someone put poop in it, but had no evidence.
First of all, had no idea where the steaks were in the first place. She calls and says there's fecal matter in the survey steak holes, but then when they get out there, she doesn't even know where the steaks are, and they never find any fecal matter, but they find a ton of illegally dumped rotten food on the neighbor's property.
Yeah. People are saying chicken coop in her 5-gallon bucket. The poo bucket.
Yeah.
In the poo poo. A lot of people are saying her bucket in the trailer. In the stereo speaker. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right up there in the stereo. DJ Crook.
In the makeshift, the chat's flying by so fast. In the turtle pen, one of the turtle pens. A lot of people were saying chicken coop.
The turtles need protection. So I'd be okay if they put it in the turtle pen. That tortoise was probably in there like, come on, me again, bro. Come on. No more coming.
Well, according to Jamie, who is the godmother, maybe former godmother of the child now, said that he typically keeps it under the seat of the Jeep.
The Jeep, yes. Yes.
So someone guessed
which we showed that screenshot. We have all the screenshots, all the timelines, all the reports. We showed screenshots from Angela Gleason, Marla Hughes. We've shown screenshots from Crook, Lynette. If you watch that video all the way to the end, there is very incriminating screenshots.
Avery says prison pocket. What's a prison pocket? The backside. The backside.
The thing that Crook likes most about
in the blessing box. I don't know. Wes's daughter looked in the blessing box and there was absolutely empty.
Oh, but don't worry. Landon filled it for Channel 20. Hey, you want a snack from the blessing box? No human being with any sense would ever take anything from that box.
Debbie Farmer says in her Lynette's underwear drawer.
Please, Debbie, no. Oh, man.
Behind the magnolia tree. I mean, that's where he was spotted. That's where Wes said he was. And Lynette even told Channel 20 News he was behind the magnolia tree. But according to Crook on the incident report, he was behind the old chicken coop. So which one is it?
I was hiding in fear.
Which one is it?
The old chicken coop. Do you think the cameras that are 24/7 surveilling our property are still charging right now?
Oh, the ones that Paul Hemorrhoid?
Yeah, those ones. And that.
Well, I know Paul watches. He watches beginning to end. He downloads every video.
Biggest fan. And
he downloads every video, which means he's paying for YouTube Premium in order to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, hey, he's got to do what he's got to do. And when I say biggest fan, I don't just mean he watches everything. I mean big.
Well, Paul has posted the type of cameras he has bought them. He bought him a 3-pack of Arlos, and I'm pretty sure those aren't rechargeable like that.
No, they aren't rechargeable, and that footage remains forever. Even when you delete it, it can
Bad Duck
come back with Bad Duck.
Yes, he said he's too stupid to hide it. It was on the stereo. It was on the stereo.
How do you turn this thing on? Just shoot it. Because Landon can't figure out how to turn it on. Lynette can't figure out how to turn it on.
No.
Interesting, isn't it?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out where they did hide the pew pew.
Do you think that information is going to be revealed?
Maybe.
It will in the court case. Yeah. It will be on the trial. It will be revealed in the trial, and we are going to be doing everything we can to cover that trial. So, without putting our own safety in jeopardy. These two are extremely dangerous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the moment that I met her in person, I knew she was mentally off.
Oh, I remember when you came back and you were like, I don't ever want to talk to her again. There's something.
Well, the first time I met her was
wrong.
in your truck. She came around.
Yeah, and then we went into the drive and you were like, I don't ever want to talk to her again.
No, this wasn't until the third time I met her. When I was on our property by myself.
You have memory issues.
The second time was when she gave us the ducks. The third time is when she wanted breads for our chicken. That was the time where I'm like, oh my God, I never want to deal with her again. You've
literally said that every time you ever saw her or interacted. George has major memory issues, and I think
I mentioned the thyroid is an issue.
It is a major issue, and like sometimes we'll be having a conversation. So, for example, I think a couple lives
doesn't help either.
I think we had a couple lives ago, and I'm talking about we have camera footage. We have cameras where the finger was actually destroyed by Landon and co-parts. And then George is talking about lack of camera footage over at Tubetown. And we're on completely two different conversations. And you will see, I always have to bring her back in onto context of the right communication.
I mean, I could quit right now and I'll have to do Sunday lives with you. That's fine.
All right. So anyways, so what we were talking about here was, where is the pew pew? Do you think they hid it somewhere that is pew pew?
In the poo poo. I think it was in the poo poo.
In the poo poo. Okay. So no doubt. Do you think it was hidden on the 1.66 acres, or was it hidden off the one? Do you think they put it under the rotten food in the neighbor's property where they're illegally dumping?
I think it was definitely somewhere on the property.
Okay. What's your best guess? Your best guess?
Well, my first guess was in the poop hole.
Yeah.
Where the surveyor stakes were. My second guess would be in their makeshift oven.
They have a makeshift oven.
Yeah.
The way you get there is through the makeshift gate, down the makeshift drive to the makeshift house. Mm-hmm. The makeshift toilet is the toilet's probably got to be right next to the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's within 5 feet.
They take the poo poo, put it in a platter, and then they make brownies.
Or a poo poo platter.
It's a poo poo platter.
Poo poo platter.
Yummy. Yeah. What insanity. Yeah. Complete and total. What goes, and it just proves Lynette does not believe her lies. Lynette intentionally, willingly, knowingly, pathologically and habitually continues to lie and lie and lie and lie and has no remorse and no regret. And now here's the thing. The individuals that go Jeremy and George, or Jeremy or George, you're so obsessed with this. Have them destroy your life like this, and let's see how you deal with it.
Like I've said before, you don't realize how much it affects your mental health and your life in general until it happens to you.
We literally watch over our shoulder everywhere we go now. Every person we meet, we go, what's their agenda? Mm-hmm. Is this another Lynette? Is this another crook? It has changed our lives negatively forever.
It really
and we will not stop. We will not stop fighting for justice
and reporting our life. This is real life. This is our lives
until proper consequences happen. Mm-hmm. And that we can move forward when it's finally dealt with appropriately. Mm-hmm. And so that we can get back to normal life. Nobody deserves this in their lives. And these two have done this to countless people, destroyed their lives, and they couldn't fight back. Now they finally did it to somebody who could fight back. Mm-hmm. And we will continue to fight back so they never do it to you, Paul Hemorrhoid. So they never do it to you, Marla Hughes. So they never do it to you, Shart, even though they're going to throw them all under the bus anyway. I don't care if you're a lover or a hater of what the Hales. We are going to continue to fight this until justice and consequences that are appropriately come forward. And they can't do this to anybody else. It's not okay.
Well, when we learned that she was doing this to family members, that's when we also took it serious and didn't want to take it lightly and do it behind the scenes. We wanted to spread awareness because a lot of people have mentioned that they have a relative that behaves just like this, and they support us, and they're going to support us throughout the way. Like Jeremy said, whether you support us or whether you're against it, continue watching, continue following the journey. I personally don't care if anyone has anything negative to say about me. This is my life and what I've experienced. I don't let it bother me. I used to let it bother me when people would speak negatively, but at this point, I just don't. It doesn't bother me anymore.
Here's one of the most ironic things that, remember, it was Victoria who posted on What the Hales, created a YouTube channel just to post on What the Hales, and we shared that post this week. And here's the funniest thing. You think this is a joke about doing things to family? Here is an injunction against Lynette based on
No, this was Lynette getting one against her own daughter.
And who do you see? You will see.
This is when Lynette tried to file an injunction on her own daughter.
Tessa Victoria.
And then
right there.
And then she tried to child nap her own grandchildren away from her own biological daughter.
Yes, she did try to do that.
So not only
we have all the legal paperwork.
So now, not only has Lynette tried to get an injunction on him, she tried to get one on her own
daughter.
Biological daughter. Like, who does that? Who does that?
And her daughter got one on her to keep her away from grandkids. So she's lied in the Florida courts about ever having injunctions on her, anything along those lines.
Yeah.
So this is
do you find it concerning that she has yet to file an injunction on John, the guy that she announces to the world on many social media platforms that he is abusive towards her?
Absolutely. I find it ironic. I find it hypocrisy. I find it disgusting. I find it beyond concerning. The whole aspect of number one, the whole timeline and proof is we announced we were getting civil protection orders against her. She then ran and tried to get an injunction in Florida after we announced it. We have all the timeline. We have all of the video, and it'll all be shown in court. And so we don't need to show it necessarily in a video now. And then Judge Craig DeThomas is having illegal conversations with her. He was holding a court hearing without the defendant and his legal counsel there. This is just mind-blowing. 3 times. 3 times he held court hearings without the defendant or respondent and legal counsel present. When we're in Ohio going through the court system and know nothing about this going on. Nothing.
Yeah. Remember when she told the judge that she doesn't watch any of your videos but somehow knew your schedule back in September and October of 2023?
Let's touch base on Ohio court for 1 second. Okay. There are those that are in here. Okay. So those who didn't come in and hear this in the beginning, Ohio court did not go well for Lynette. Okay. It is very, very stressful for George and I. Very stressful. And I will share with you, I had another panic attack. Just seeing her face sets me into a panic anxiety attack.
And hearing her voice.
Her voice will set me into a panic anxiety attack. Now, the way to deal with that is not to draw back and isolate, but is to lean into the pain and fight it and be victorious over it. And so I even leaned over to my lawyer and I said, I'm in the middle of a panic attack right now. And he goes, okay, all right. And he goes, do you need to be removed? I said, not yet. Okay. And it has nothing to do with the court setting. I am fine in a court setting. I can run circles around most lawyers. I have no problem there. It is not being with a lawyer. It is not being with the judge. It is her and him that set us into these attacks.
The vibes from day one has always just been bad.
And so her lawyer, which We're not even, so I want to be very clear. We will not be promoting anybody who actually is representing her. And that's what they want most. Pure and simple. That's what they want most.
That's what I believe too.
And so from the very get-go, not even having the motion in of appearance and upsetting the judge from the beginning, that is how it started. And it was a winning victory towards the end. To not... so George and I already filmed our summary of the court case, but it will not be released this week. It will not be released for another month. And the reason is John Crook is incarcerated, and therefore he could not be there because the lawyer didn't do his job and make sure that he was taken care of to get a Zoom link, didn't even get his notice of appearance into the court.
Well,
so that's how it started.
He may drop the ball again next month.
Well, I don't doubt. We literally at the end went, oh my goodness, he did more for us than we could have ever done. He literally did more for our case than our own lawyer did. That's how pathetic it was.
He minimized court time. He minimized court lawyer fees.
So he asked George, one of the questions he asked George.
I thought we were waiting till the end to talk about
I just said I was just going to talk about it in a second.
Okay.
He asked George, do you have any proof that she watches your videos? Yeah. She literally tells the judge in Florida, I know his exact schedule. He said he's going to be here. He's going to do this. He's going to be here. He's going to do that. And she posted. How incompetent of a question.
He definitely didn't do his research.
Not at all. He looked like a fool. Now,
yeah.
I do want to share this, okay? I have no problem with any lawyer. I don't even have a problem with Silver Scam. I don't think Silver Scam ever knew what he was getting himself into. And I'm sure outside of court and outside of these circumstances, Silver Scam and I would be just fine. I'm friendly to everybody until you do something so foolish to me. And it takes a lot to get me upset. A lot. I am patient for years. Ask her. And so, how patient am I?
This entire thing with our stalking neighbors in Otter Creek has put a lot of tension on our relationship, that his patience is running very thin with everyone around him. But for the most part, he has been patient.
So I have no issue with any lawyer. I do have issues with lawyers that want to represent because they want promotion. They want recognition.
Well, the same thing she wanted, and that's why she.
And that's it. And they are birds of a feather flocking together. Okay, so this lawyer, who I will compare to Chris Farley in Beverly Hills Cop and Ninja, Beverly Hills Cop Ninja, because he prides himself on being a ninja. And you know when Chris Farley's trying to transcend to the higher plane, and he's like, ah! That's pretty much what court was like.
I don't remember that movie.
Completely and totally discombobulated, had no bearing on where to go or what to do. And so I want to be very clear. I would probably have no issue with this individual outside the courtroom. I don't appreciate why he's involved himself, but why he's involved himself is my personal opinion. He's never shared that with me, and nor would it be appropriate for him to share that with me. So outside of the courtroom, I'd have no problem with these individuals. But the ridiculousness in the courtroom, and to ask George, do you have any proof that she watches your videos? Yeah, the whole planet has proof. They've all seen it.
He must not know about the 338 pages that she submitted. He must not know about all of her social media pages and groups. Like, he has a lot of catching up to do.
The complete incompetence was ridiculous. The biggest, okay, we're gonna share the biggest thing in regards to the courtroom in just a moment. Now, even though it was a huge victory for us, okay, there's hands down, it was a huge victory for us, and the incompetency on the other side, it literally hands the victory over to us, and I'll explain that in just a moment. And that doesn't take the stress out of it. It was extremely stressful. So, for example, your travel schedule, what happened?
If you guys have been keeping up with the news, there was a global, it was called a
Global Microsoft IT something or
It
other.
had something to do with technology where it affected the entire planet, where thousands of airlines and flights were canceled. They were delayed and then canceled, and then there was issues with different servers, and so my flight kept getting delayed, and then finally at 2:30 in the morning, they announced that it's been canceled. So I sat in the airport for 6 hours just to be told that it was canceled.
And I'm on the phone with her going,
am I picking you up?
What
am I doing?
Happen?
What's going on?
How are we going to do this? Because we have to file a motion for her to be on Zoom. And so we're going, we went to bed roughly around 4 a.m., had to be in court at literally 8:45, but at 9 a.m. was the court hearing. And so extremely limited sleep. You didn't make it to Ohio, and you were the primary witness.
Correct. I did not make it back to Ohio in time to be able to be there in person. However, luckily there was a Zoom link available, and so I was able to hop on via Zoom from the hotel room.
Was very accommodating and understood, and said, "Yep, George can jump on the Zoom link. I'm allowing Lynette. I will allow George as well." And so that was very decent of her. And frankly, she already allowed Lynette's counsel to participate, even though there was no notice of appearance in the court system. And so that lack of incompetency on their part, for her to already say, she was already upset and mad, but then to go, I'll allow it this time. She wasn't going to deny George the aspect of the Zoom.
I'm guessing she allowed it because she knows how Lynette is and just how she talks in circles when it comes to her testimony, that she's all over the place. Like she's not organized mentally. She's not organized with her evidence, and the evidence is irrelevant. And so she probably brought him in thinking, yes, I won't have as much of a headache if you come.
and my lawyer,
let you in.
My lawyer goes, listen, we already know what this is going to be like. I got a bottle of whiskey afterwards. He goes, I am going to crash it afterwards because I'm going to need to. And George and I are just laughing like crazy because this is anybody who interacts with these individuals immediately finds out how deranged and unhinged and horrific these human
just
beings
not good people.
They are not good people.
So back to, do you want to flash back to her pre-hearing court appearances with Judge, the Florida judge?
Do it.
So back to Lynette telling the judge that she doesn't watch any of his videos, right? She knew exactly of when Jeremy would be in Otter Creek next in September. She told the judge that he would be at the town hall meeting and that she wanted him to get service there at town hall meeting.
So the ridiculousness of her lawyer stating, how do you know she knows you'll be at town hall? She literally tells a judge under oath in court, she knows we're always at town hall, and she wants me to be served there.
She told the judge he's there at every meeting.
How
every month.
Incompetent. How foolish. I mean, and me and my lawyer are looking at each other just going, is this really happening? And my lawyer, I'm not going to share what Eli said because see, here's the thing. Lawyers will attack each other in court. They'll object and they'll act like they're mad, but they're generally really good friends outside of court. And they understand there's a separation. In the courtroom, they have to fight for their client. Outside of the courtroom, hey, we're good buds. And my lawyer had nothing positive to say about him. He's literally whispering things at me. But he also is hired by me, and so I'm his client. He's not going to say anything good. It helps with your
anxiety too.
He's not going to say anything good, and they can leave the courtroom and they can be good friends. And same as, if I saw Silver Scam outside of this whole court situation, I hold nothing against him. He's a lawyer that was hired to represent his client. Pure and simple. Now, during this process and in the courtroom, I'm going to pick him apart. And he's going to do the same thing to me. That's what he's hired to do. And so outside of the courtroom, I have no problem with him at all. I never would. I'd hold nothing against him. He's got a job to do, and he's doing the job that he was hired to do, and I don't believe he does it well. And so there may be others that have been hired to do a job, and I don't believe they do it well. Hey, great. They made my day in court. And that's where George and I afterwards, we literally after court, we went, is he on our side or her side? We're pretty sure he's on our side.
We were stunned.
We were stunned. We were like, oh my goodness, this guy is on our side.
Don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Well, anyways, Lynette and John know that we attend every single meeting. I mean, there's no surprise there. We even announce it. And if he can't attend, then I'll be there. And if I can't attend, then he'll be there.
You think Crook will be at the next town hall meeting in August?
Them knowing that we're there at every town hall meeting, she even tells the Florida judge, well, I try not to go if he's there. We're there every time. So how does that make any sense?
That's why she parks at 445 and with a child.
Why else would
with a vapor illegally in a vehicle and camp and block the door and the passageway
before?
And then film George, then say she's giving the footage to her lawyer and to Levy County deputies.
So then this one of the additional pre-hearing court videos that we shared, Lynette starts off with, he's having a fall festival thing.
She knows more about me than I know about me.
Hosted at the old schoolhouse.
And here's the thing. We have text messages. Lynette sent one of the residents of Otter Creek text messages of all the things she wanted from our sale because she said, I'm not allowed to be there. Will you buy these things for me? And that individual,
she watched another video.
That individual will be giving testimony against her in federal court. She's a pathological habitual liar. She's a horrible human being.
So Lynette wanted the Florida judge to give service to him at this fall function at the old schoolhouse. And then she didn't know the address or the name and turns around and asks for Russell's
you know the address, Ross?
knowledge, and he didn't even know the name or the address, and he goes, well, it's in the middle of the town, it's on Route 24, State 24.
Russ the sus, who can't even show up when he's a paid council member for a workshop, but goes to 3 hearings when I'm not even served illegal hearings based on what the judge did and participated in. And I haven't even been served. And we're waiting here in Ohio for our civil protection orders.
Yeah.
Mind blowing. Like Hollywood can't come up with these storylines.
No, really, it's just sickening how he's willing to support her, but couldn't even come to a workshop at town hall and help with the transition of the new council people and the new mayor. It's just sickening. It just shows you how immature he is as a ex-councilman, ex-mayor.
I do want to confirm that a resident of Otter Creek actually filmed Landon and the girl and the boy come back out. I'm getting the text message from the resident right now. They have this on film. They have the receipts. They filmed after Channel 20 left. They came back out and took all the stuff out of the box that day as well after the interview. And I will, without giving this resident away, I will go here. Took stuff back out of the box today as well. LOL. After the interview, that text message just came in.
Everything is
a lie. It's a lie. Everything is a lie. That's what it is. So, George, here's the one thing. We shared somebody on the team who manages our community posted something today, which I thought was pretty funny. It was a comment by Slow Ann, and it was hilarious. Okay,
so we personally don't know if Slow Ann is pro what the Hales or if she's just pro truth.
Okay, so here's what I love about it. Slow Ann goes, literally, I have thought. I know I didn't just hear that BS, LOL. This has went from rugs to turtles to begging to pew-pews to blessing boxes to miniature pole dancer to an A new top pop of a 1 to a new board member to a town, dirty water, crooks, lawsuits, 3 mayors, OMG. I can go on and on. It didn't stop. No movie can do this.
Hollywood cannot write this.
To know it all started over a 2-inch pipe. Anyone who wants to add to the list? So a member of the team threw it up as a community post, and somebody added to the list, and I saw it today, and I thought, oh my goodness, that is so funny. It is hilarious. It was Melanie.
Oh, Melanie's in the chat right now.
Okay, Melanie added to the list, and I want you guys to add as well. Okay, this list is so fun. I swear I want to make T-shirts of this, but I won't do it until after the court case because I don't ever be accused of trying to make money off of the Otter Creek or Lynette or Crook. This is a serious life issue. We don't want this in our life, and we don't want this to happen to anybody else, and that's why we're fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrific. It's horrible, and we don't even share with you all the most horrible things that it's done to us. And so, but the laughter helps. And Melanie goes on and she says, my mother died. My mother didn't die. My anxiety is over the roof. It's a freaking blue tablet. Call Silverman. John, get away from the window. Your Honor, tube down is coming. I have a bandage up to my crotch. You're not a nice person. My daughter just fell down. Paramore? They're going to kidnap my daughter. My daughter has a metabolic disorder. Mommy. That would be Lynette calling the daughter that. Tanks, AKs, cannons, caps and backsides. Pew, pew. Judge Grudge, butt love, maggots. Oh my goodness. We're building a house. Outhouse with a blue bucket. Text Russ and Sus in court. The kid in a dog kennel. Kids in diapers. Kid in a Jeep with John for hours. A bomb threat. We were at town hall first. It's okay, John. Green turtle water, turtle purgatory, barefoot daughter running around, and Lynette and Crook, and no fence around the turtle water. 39 aliases, 7 ex-husbands, CPS called, Shark, Marli Huge, Futon Gate, rotten food, people in walls, violating permanent protection orders, and she doesn't watch What the Hale.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
How much more? What I want to do.
Anne and Melanie, you guys nailed it right on the head.
I swear, I just want to take a T-shirt design and take every quote, which there are so many from this insanity and these plot twists. And I want to share with you another huge plot twist is happening tomorrow. Mm-hmm. There will be another lawsuit filed tomorrow in Florida courts against Lynette and Crook. And so it's going to rock their world. I'm telling you right now, tomorrow it happens. So whether they're served tomorrow or not, tomorrow it happens. So this will be the 4th lawsuit they are involved in currently that we know of. There may be others. Well, court for Crook as well with Wes and the state right now. So I guess we could actually go 5. And Lynette, if she gets accessory charges, that would be 6. But another lawsuit is being filed tomorrow in Florida courts against Lynette and Crook.
So remember when she told the Florida judge that she's paralyzed to her property because she doesn't know what will happen to her and the child if she leaves her property, but then tells the Florida judge that she wasn't home when FedEx tried to serve her with the Ohio court paperwork?
Which she actually was, and FedEx actually wrote in the comments they refused acceptance. So they were home. She lied. We have all the
second time she refused. The third time she got served with a process server.
Yes, we hired a process server. Yes.
So because when the Florida judge asked her, well, did you get served with the Ohio paperwork? We weren't home. But she literally just told him she's afraid to leave.
Paralyzed to my property, so I go on 24-mile hikes that'll take 10 hours round trip for a normal human being. But I'm disabled. By the way, all this walking 24 miles, there was no friend. It was the police who stopped her.
Well, she thinks that Beecham is her friend.
Oh, well, they're tight.
Yeah.
Why didn't Russ the Sus take her into Chiefland?
So the same Florida judge.
Why didn't Marla Huge take her into Chiefland?
I don't think Marla can drive.
Who's that other crazy chick that claims to be a local that is? You've told me about her. I forget who she is now. Anyway, she's supposed to live in Chiefland. Why didn't that person come and pick her up?
Ray.
Oh yeah, Ray. Why didn't Ray come and pick her up? They're so good and close.
Ray is a supporter of Crook and Lynette.
Oh,
she just dislikes you.
Oh, so she's just a Jeremy Hale's hater.
Because she's afraid taxes are going to go up.
Okay, so let's just be clear.
It's all about taxes for her.
Hate isn't what hate is. Hate is birthed out of the core of jealousy. Those who hate Jeremy Hales or George Hales or What the Hales, it's all based off of jealousy. It's based off of success. It's based off of You want to call it karma? Because karma keeps blessing me. I call it God. God continues to bless me.
There are a lot of envious people, and
I choose to do what's
they're not
right.
afraid to show it.
And so hate comes out of jealousy. That's where it comes from.
So the same Florida judge that she literally told, I'm afraid to leave my property and I'm paralyzed to my property. When he asked her, are you a counsel on the seat? She goes, no, I ran last year and I'm going to run again this year.
She's afraid.
The same person who said she's afraid to leave her property. Like, is the judge not catching on to this?
So she's a public figure. She's already run.
Is the judge not catching on that she does leave her property and she literally just lied out one side of her mouth? She's saying she can't leave her property. She's afraid. The other side of her mouth, she's saying, oh, I'm going to run for a council seat again this year. But also told him that you attend every town hall meeting and that she tries not to be there when you're there.
I wonder if those clips are going to be in the next court hearing. Who knows? Who knows?
So how many of you at home counted the number of times the Florida judge gave Lynette legal advice?
And actually held a legal hearing illegally.
Even though Jeremy didn't get good service.
Huge.
Didn't get service because we were in Ohio for the summer and we weren't planning on coming back till we get the final decision from the Ohio judge on the protection order.
Craig Zatomasis committed one of the biggest ethical violations I've ever seen from a judge.
Too numerous to count, several.
It's so insane.
Kitty says, I lost count. I lost count too. I totally lost count. Way too many to count.
And I've shared this in the past. I'm going to share this again. There is a group of Levy County lawyers, and it's not just lawyers that represent me. There are many lawyers. There are lawyers that Judge Craig Zatomasis thinks of as his closest allies that are part of this group that are trying to get him removed from the bench, because he's not just doing this to me. He's doing this to everybody. You only see it to me because I won't let it go, because they need to be held accountable. And nobody is holding them accountable.
Conkey said he had to take his shoes off to count the number of times that
I bet.
The Florida judge Zatomasis gave legal advice to Lynette.
Conkey counted on as many jumbo dogs as he's eaten this summer so far.
All videoed and recorded.
Huge ethical violations. Huge ethical violations.
Do you guys think those court hearings...
Extremely serious for a judge.
Do you guys think that it was redacted or unredacted?
I'm going to go with both. That's what I'm going to go with.
She also tells the Florida judge that you're using her as a paycheck. Like, how does that make any sense?
I'm not sure, because I've paid out $180,000 so far in legal fees. Now, that is Ohio court, that is Florida county court, and that is also federal court. And so there are many things that I've had to pay towards that. So that's 3 court cases altogether. So $180,000. And then the foolishness for a lawyer to go, oh, Jeremy's just doing this because he wants views on YouTube. This content doesn't give me views.
No.
This content gives accountability. I could be doing things that actually grow the channel. What I've done is slowed the channel because of the principle of stalking, breaking the law, breaking the civil protection orders, and making our lives horrific. And the other lives in Otter Creek, as you've seen part of that as well.
Well, what about the child? I mean, the child is a paycheck to her. And that's the only reason why she wanted to adopt a child, because she looked at it as a paycheck.
Crook is the paycheck. Where's Crook now?
Yeah, he's
30 days. Too. 30 days, and that government assistance is gone.
She even told the Florida judge that the only reason why she's with him and they split the property 50-50 is because they both financially rely on each other, because they both financially can't do it alone.
All recorded on video.
This is in her court documents in the 338 pages. She specifically wrote, and to the federal judge, that they're both on fixed incomes and limited incomes, and specified what type of income.
George Crook doesn't have any income from the government.
Oh, that's right. He marked off 0.
He doesn't own any property.
That's right. He put 0.
He doesn't have any assets. He's always trying to get my assets.
That's right. He lied again and marked a 0.
That's true. Very, very true. And the funny thing is, if he would have told the truth, he probably still would have gotten a public defender. It's not worth lying.
It really isn't, especially over something so simple like that. And because because she wrote that statement not only on court papers, she also posted on social media platforms, especially Facebook. She has written that on Facebook, and the screenshots are there.
Yeah.
So it's wow. It's just
So
mind blowing.
court on Friday, very, very stressful. Again, there are thousands new in the chat. Sometimes we get comments like, "Why did you repeat that? Why do you keep repeating that?" Well, you're not the only person in the world.
We get a ton of new viewers.
You to actually make that comment and think you're the only person in the world is extremely narcissistic on your part and very selfish and frankly very childish. So there are thousands more. There's actually 4,000 more that are in the chat right now than when I said this last time. So court was extremely stressful for both of us, but it was also very humorous the way it even started. And it was not in Lynette's favor at all. And I'm going to share the end, which is my lawyer calls up George as the first witness. And we go in much more detail on this in the video, which will not be released until after the court date with Crook as well. Mm-hmm. So you're not getting anything until after Crook's court date, which is August 16th. And if Crook does not show and this lawyer still is incompetent and doesn't do his job, which I'm pretty sure that's probably what's going to happen, then it will be automatic default. He's guilty, which he's guilty anyway. And she's guilty as well. Mm-hmm. And so at the very end, the judge goes to my lawyer and goes, "Any more witnesses?" And he goes, no, Your Honor. And I go, "You're not going to call Lynette?" He goes, "No, her lawyer will. I'll cross-examine." So then the judge goes to Lynette's lawyer and goes, "All right, any witnesses?" And he goes, "Nope, no witnesses. We got nothing." What does that tell a judge?
And no evidence.
Okay, stop. You're giving it away. What does that tell a judge? When your lawyer, your defender won't even put you on the stand, what does that tell a judge? Obviously, guilt.
In this particular situation, 100%.
Okay. And then Lynette goes against her lawyer and goes, "I want to speak." And then
have plenty of evidence.
And what does the judge say?
So the judge goes, "Well, do you want to give your client a phone call in the hallway? You need 5 minutes to discuss it?"
And he goes, "I only need 2. Can you imagine the phone call? He calls her up in the hallway and goes, "Shut the quack up." Comes back in.
Not in those words.
Sits down. And the judge goes, "Okay, counselor." He goes, "Well, we have no evidence." So freaking funny. I can't wait.
Said we have plenty of evidence.
Cannot wait to get the court hearings. And obviously it's going to be a part of federal court as well. And that's one of the reasons he doesn't want her speaking, because she continues to incriminate. He knows she's guilty. Mm-hmm. She knows she's guilty.
So it makes you wonder, is he on our side or her side? Or is he...
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely eliminated, because if she would have been there pro bono like she has in the past, she would have yapped in circles.
It was nice,
and it would have went on for 3 hours.
It was nice to get out after an hour.
Yes, it lasted exactly an hour
instead of 4 hours with her mouth. So it was very nice. And so he wouldn't even allow her to speak, and she was fighting him in court to speak. And
can we talk? Can we take guesses of what her alleged evidence?
All right, who wants to guess what her evidence is?
Someone said her evidence would convict her.
No kidding, it already has. Her evidence is always my videos proving she broke the law.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The judge, Nancy says, "I'm sure the judge was happy as well." Yeah, I think so too. The Ohio judge, because she knows how she is, and the threats of muting her wasn't as high as it was in the past. They were there, but it wasn't as many.
She's begging,
you can actually count.
She's begging TV20 to come over and film her and put her on national TV. But she's crying she's a victim of YouTube. Yeah. And it's my life that she stalked, that she invaded, that she did these things to me, to George, to my employees, to my independent contractors, to my friends, to my family, to the residents of Otter Creek. It's not okay. It never will be okay. And we'll continue to cover it every single day until it's all over.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are guessing her evidence would have been your video.
Absolutely.
Your videos. My guess was that her evidence at town hall, because the main focus was when both her and John willingly and knowingly violated the protection order that I have against them by not leaving immediately when they saw me pull in for town hall meeting.
It
would have been her recording me, my vehicle. That's her. That would have been her evidence. I was there first.
Here's my evidence. I recorded her.
I was there first.
Yeah.
I even called Levy County Sheriff to tell them that I got there at 4:45.
And the funniest thing was her lawyer asked me, I'm up on the stand, and her lawyer asked me, are you aware that 10 of your last 14 videos had to do with Lynette Preston? And I said, no, but I can tell you that tomorrow's is going to be about her as well, as she lied to Levy County Police and then told the truth, and she hid the firearm that John Crook pointed at an 8-year-old, and when he's in jail. And then he goes, no further questions. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
It did not go well for them.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And if August 16th will not go well.
If she's lying to her followers and saying that it didn't go well for us, that's a blatant lie too.
You will see it. We will have the hearing. Mm-hmm. And no doubt there are others that want that hearing as well, and they want to try and get famous from it. This is our life. This isn't something we're doing because we want to.
This isn't a game. This is our real life.
Life. And it's horrific what's been done to us. And it has altered our lives negatively forever.
Yes.
We can't even go out of our own home anymore without wondering who, if not, somebody is going to stalk us, attack us, pull a firearm out on us. Our life has been changed forever based on this circumstance. Absolutely. The reason why we have Hale's headquarters is because of Lynette and Crook, because we needed absolute security. It has literally changed our lives forever, and not in the positive.
It truly has. Yeah, not in a good way. Like, we have, our anxiety is high. Our it's affecting not only us physically but mentally. It's affecting, like, I'm balding more. I have PTSD from it. I'm sure you do with certain things, but like I've said in the past, like, if you bottle it all in and you don't make light of it, you're going to be so stressed out of your mind. And so we try and find medicine and a cure through laughter. And we also realize that helps us with the stress.
Florida is doing absolutely nothing. So we are documenting everything as proof, as evidence. If anybody tries to destroy anything, it maintains itself on YouTube forever. As long as YouTube exists, it will be there. We are documenting literally everything. And so nobody can say, Florida can sit there and play games and go, no, we're not going to help you, you Yankee. No, we're not going to help you, you rich YouTuber. No, we're not going to help you because you're in an interracial relationship. No, we're not going to help you. All the evidence exists. All of it. We didn't start this war. But
we didn't ask for it either.
We won't finish until it ends. And there's only one way it ends. Proper consequences for the actions that have happened.
And for justice for those that she has hurt and damaged in the past.
And shame, and frankly, shame on
and those
anybody.
Folks have reached out to us.
Shame on anybody who supports what they have done to people in the past. Shame on anybody. Shame on you if you support what she's doing to this child, what she's supporting doing to these residents of Otter Creek, what she's done to us. Shame on you. If you just are for her because you hate us. Shame on you. Shame on you. And what I could say is, even though you are a fool, I still don't wish what they've done to us to happen to you.
No, not at all.
It's horrific.
Not at all.
And the funniest part is, and it's not funny, I mean funny as in ironic, is that you can literally see her patterns in other YouTubers. The exact patterns. They will use the exact verbiage. They will use the exact tactics. They will use the exact words. They will use when they don't get their way, and they cry like a toddler.
Yeah. Her own family warned us that in the past, when she doesn't get her way, that's when things spiral out of control. And again, this has been going on for decades, and we're the only ones that have actually been able to have a voice to bring awareness to her and her behavior in the past.
And keep in mind her pattern. You've seen what she's done, and then you can see other YouTubers do the exact same thing, the exact same patterns, and they want to cry they're a victim. They are, of their own foolish decisions, of their own lying, of their own deception, of their own cheating, of their own trying to rig a system and cheat the system and steal from the system. They are a victim of their poor choices.
So for the ones that do support her, or maybe they're just using her to get inside, feel like they're part of something bigger than they're not by just inserting themselves. You have seen her lie to the police on report. You have seen her lie to Channel 20 News. What makes you think that she's telling you the truth if you are talking to her behind the scenes? What makes you think that she's telling you the truth on how it didn't go well for us?
How
she has a history.
I was meeting a friend as I was 5 miles from Otter Creek. There are no blocks.
There are no blocks. It's just one straight
4-lane highway.
There's no sidewalks. There's no bike path. There's no highway lights.
It's a berm. People are going, she was on the bike path. There's no bike path. It's Highway 19. It is Florida's most deadly road, as it's been called in Florida. There is the berm. There's no bike path.
The speed limit 65. I know when I
goes
travel
up to 70.
When I from Otter Creek to Chiefland, it's 65. When I travel there, I'm doing 70. Sometimes
so
72.
From Otter Creek to Chiefland, it goes 65, then 70, then it goes down to 55, 45.
So the only time I've ever seen anyone walk the shoulder on that busy, dangerous highway are homeless people.
Homeless crackheads.
And they even know to walk on the right side facing traffic, walking in the direction of traffic, because if something were to come at you, you know to dodge or to move.
And come to find out in Florida, if you're walking on the highway against traffic, that's legal. If you're walking with traffic, that's illegal. Yeah. You will get cited. You will get a ticket.
So and then at dusk, this all occurred during dusk, which was around 8:30.
So drivers can't see.
And again, no traffic lights. And then
she's not paying attention. She's literally on a phone like this. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could show you videos, but we're saving those for court.
What about the wild hogs, or like the coyotes, the ones that she said during the Ohio hearing that the coyotes almost ripped the dogs apart? The coyotes could have ripped her apart, or the dingo.
The dang dingo.
The dingo could have ate the baby. There's wild hogs, there's rabid raccoons, and she's walking like if that's that's not blatant child endangerment, then I don't know what
the baby is 100% in the stroller, knees pulled up, curled, watching her pink tablet.
Mm-hmm. She does have a tablet with like a pink cover, a hot pink cover.
Oh, how do you know this, George?
Because she posted all over social media.
The same way we know that she watches all of our videos and she stalks us and she knows exactly what our schedule is and where we're going to be. Apparently, she knows what we eat and what we think.
Yeah. Shared it with the judge.
I'm curious who you guys think she's going to throw under the bus next. Now, keep in mind, we're in federal court, and all of these individuals that have involved themselves, they will be in federal court as well. And then from all of that, then there will be legal action taken against them. And so federal court, they think they're skimming free right now. Federal court in the system takes a long, long time. It may be 2 years before we even get a hearing. Mm-hmm. And so this is not going away anytime soon. No. So we already know she's going to do whatever she can to save herself by the skin of her own gums. And so she's already thrown Crook under the bus. And Crook, I got to believe he's happy. Now, he's obviously going through withdrawal. There's no doubt. If you believe everything that Lynette has posted, that he is a runk and he is a rug dealer and addict, then he is absolutely miserable going through withdrawal right now. But that's what she wanted. She wanted him out. It's the first thing she told me when she met me. I wish he was dead. That is the very first thing she said to me.
I mean, all the horrible things she listed about him and wanted him out of her life for good is the very first thing she shared with me too. I was just
She put it in court paperwork that he abuses her.
She does. It's in
all
338 pages.
The court paperwork and the insanity of it. But you got to believe that Crook is happy. He does not have to hear that voice.
Or he doesn't have to hear her barking orders to do this and that. When Levy County law enforcement was there to read her own TPO because she didn't understand it, you heard her yelling at the girl that's living on the property.
The teenage
You heard
girl.
her yelling.
She's screaming at the girl.
You heard her yelling at John. The woman just yells. She just
Constantly.
naturally yells. She doesn't have an indoor voice.
So this is the other funny part about the court hearing on Friday. So Lynette comes in and she's got her pink Stanley and she's doing horrific things to that straw in her mouth. I'm still having nightmares over it. But she comes in, her very first words are, "I have no voice." And her last words are, "I want to speak, I have evidence." I'm looking at my lawyer and George is on Zoom.
It's a miracle.
And I'm trying to look at George through Zoom and I know she can see me and I can see her. And we're all just like, what the Hales just happened? Like, it was insane. Nothing from the very moment when the lawyer walked in and didn't even have the notice of appearance in with the court system. Nothing went her way at all. It was downhill from the beginning.
Which I'm confused because she's been posting since June that she had an attorney in Ohio.
Yeah,
since
that's odd.
June.
What kind of attorney waits to the week of to file a notice of appearance?
He waited last minute.
And then doesn't even have it in the court system.
Maybe that
and then
was
still
part of
shows
his
up.
tactic.
And she was ready to throw him out.
Maybe that was part of their tactic to try and get a continuance because one of his clients was incarcerated.
They were begging for a continuance. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And I said no.
It was not a good look for her and the attorney or
for him. I mean, honestly.
Well, her too, that he was incarcerated.
He wants fame. He's going to get the wrong kind of fame, just like she has. Anybody that sees him in this courtroom is going to go, I would never hire him to represent me. We literally ended it going, we're pretty sure he's 100% pro what the Hales. He literally did our job better than we did. That's how ridiculous it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was that crazy.
So it'll be interesting to see if John ever does hop on Zoom from behind bars.
He may not want to. He may be like, you know what? I got a good life here. I got 3 meals a day.
He may say, I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Well, here's the thing. Nothing's going to go their way in court because the evidence is overwhelming. You can't refute it. Mm-hmm. They're guilty. So nothing's going to go their way anyway. No matter what they say, no matter what they try, it's not going to work for them.
Yeah.
The only thing he can do is protect them from opening their mouths under oath so it won't be used against them in federal court. That's the only thing he can positively do for them.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of too. Like a lot of them are trying to
and it does nothing positive for his career. Nothing at all. It looks really bad. Yeah, really, really bad.
I think it makes her and her legal teams look bad because they don't know the full story. They just don't unless they do their homework. I mean, if they're relying solely on this advocate journalist who has all of her facts wrong, then they're going to look bad in court.
They're going to continue looking like a fool.
which can be entertaining for those at home, even though it's stressful for us, but we could laugh about it afterwards. So,
and again, if I see her attorney in the streets, I have no problem being cordial. I hold nothing against her legal attorneys at all. Mm-hmm. They're doing the job that they were brought on to do. And it's a job. So at the end of the day, you walk out the door, everything's cool. I have no problem. My problems are what she has done to us and what she has done to others and what she's doing to a child, what she's doing to an elderly man that's on the property now, not Crook, Lloyd. And what she's continuing to do and what Crook has done to all of those as well. Those are the issues I have.
Remember, I think we should do mail next, but remember when she posted this long story of how when she was 23, she died of rugs on her couch.
But then she posted she's never done rugs.
But in the same sentence, she's never
I've
touched
never
it
done
before.
rugs.
She's never touched rugs ever, but died at 23.
That could be some of the comments, like
people
from Melanie.
People,
I died of rugs when 23.
But
now is it in there? Is it in there?
I don't think so.
No,
I think Melanie
no.
skipped that one. You accidentally missed that one, Melanie.
Hey, you want to impress us? Not that it's not worth impressing us, okay? But if so many people at home sometimes talk about, hey, is there anything we could ever do to help? I'm at home. I'm a shut-in. I could do research for you. Here's what you do from home. Create the ultimate list and send it to us. What Hale's at yahoo.com.
Otter Creek.
So you can already look under the community post and you can get a lot. All right. So create the ultimate list that has every phrase that we just can't get enough of.
Yes.
Whether it's Don the Con, Russ the Sus, Mary, Lynette, Crook, Judge Grudge. I mean, all from a 2-inch pipe. Nobody would have ever fathomed this.
Well, anyways, going back to when she died at 23 from rugs, but even though she never touched rugs, a lot of people are speculating that she's been reincarnated to Lucifer.
I don't believe I don't believe in reincarnation, but maybe it's part of the minister.
What's the female name of Lucifer?
Jezebel. I mean, that's the closest you're going to get.
It's not Lucipita?
No. So
Lucerita?
No.
Lusa Shanquita?
You still have to say no. There's no There is no female of
Well,
Lucifer,
let's make one up.
If you want a female bad person, it would be Jezebel. And even at that point, we still don't know. She says she's an ordained minister. We have no idea what church. We don't know. She obviously does not know Jesus Christ as her personal savior. That's very, very evident in her life.
The power of Christ compels you.
So,
oh, it's Lacey.
Lacey. That's the female equivalent of Lucifer. There you go, Lacey. That's true. That is true.
Lucififi.
That is true.
Do you want to do the mail? Before we wrap it up?
Yeah, but there was something else I was going to ask you.
The female name of Lucifer is definitely Lacey.
Lacey.
That makes sense why she gave herself that name.
So, yeah, I see Sue Us. They're putting all the things in the chat. So we have court again with John Crook, August 16th.
That's the tentative date.
No, it's not a tentative date. It's an absolute solidified date.
It is a date, tentative. But I don't think he'll show up.
So whether he shows up or not, the court hearing goes on. The judge is very clear. He shows up, or if the lawyer actually gets him a Zoom from jail, then he participates. The lawyer is going to do the same thing he did with Lynette. Do not speak. Mm-hmm. And so now we know that he wasn't going to put Lynette on the stand. So now my lawyer knows, we're going to put Crook on the stand because he's not going to allow him to speak. And so we already understand that's what's happening. And that was part of I think the genius, because we had the option of just doing a continuance and doing them at the same time, or doing Lynette's Friday and then John's in a month. And so I told my lawyer, I said, listen, we're doing it today. We're here. We're ready. Let's do it. And the genius of it is now we get to see everything he's going to say and do on their behalf, which is really all he did was help our case. And so now we know exactly what's coming down for the next hearing on the 16th. And he doesn't know what's going to happen for the 16th because our plans have changed drastically based on Friday. Well, not drastically. I mean, you can't get too far away from the actual evidence and truth, but there are more things coming down that pipeline.
Video evidence does not lie. Does not lie.
No, it doesn't. No, you know who does? Lie.
Lacey.
Oh yeah, Lacey. That's it.
Lacey.
That's who.
And the guy that's incarcerated, and that's why he is incarcerated, because he lied. Yeah. He lied.
Yeah.
Truth is truth,
true.
Willis.
So keep in mind, another major development will be tomorrow. There will be another court case filed against Lynette Preston and John Crook in the state of Florida. And so this will be court case number 4 that we know of currently.
Mhm.
And it's going to be extremely interesting to see what happens.
Mhm.
And there are other major, and this is all, I'm going to tip my hat now. Remember this foreshadowing. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm telling you, remember this foreshadowing. There are major developments underway, happening right now, that she doesn't even know or even think is going to happen. And it is going to rock her world. And so there are some major plays coming. Major. And so that's enough to say for right now. But I'm going to point back to this in the future and say, remember when I told you? Boom. Here we go.
So there's definitely 3 sides to every story.
Okay.
There's side A.
Oh, what about the B side with the golden key? How about the golden key? Who in the world would want a key to Otter Creek?
And video evidence.
Yeah, and then there's video evidence. Yeah.
And video evidence says it all.
It's hard to fight actual video evidence.
It really is.
Right?
It really is.
And yet there are fools out there that make themselves look even more foolish, trying to fight the actual evidence and play devil's advocate. And all they're doing is destroying their own reputation, their own integrity, looking like bigger fools. You can only grow a channel off of hate for a temporary moment in time during a circumstance, and everybody will leave you and they will never trust you. And your growth will be
your credibility just goes
and
down the poo-poo hole.
And you will have nothing in the future. And the way to grow an audience and a channel is to be authentic, to be real, and to share your life openly, appropriately. And it's called organic growth. Just be you and share your content, your life. And that is how you grow. That is how you can continue to grow and have a long withstanding spurt of growth and of relevance within people's lives and speak to them. I think that's one of the things that we attempt to do is we're real. Sometimes you see us at our best. Sometimes you see us at our worst.
Which is still relatable, whether we're at our best or at our worst. Because no one can be happy and cheerful 100% of the time.
You see us when we have some of the biggest scores in the world. And you have seen us in our worst predicament, our worst
low of the low
circumstances ever, being stalked. Never in a million years did we ever think that we would be stalked by unhinged.
And then for that stalker to write it in court paperwork.
And to constantly threaten us and point guns at us and to post things such they're going to pop a cap in our backside or they're going to shove sex toys in our backside.
The inappropriate sexual harassment is
or
gross.
they're going to call us terrorists and say that we bought a schoolhouse to create a mosque for terrorists, or that
radical.
They've got pictures of their appendages in her mouth, or putting up signs around town saying that, I mean, the most horrific thing that could ever happen. One person can say that you were a rapist of a child, and that will destroy your entire life. And that's what the goal was, because they didn't get what they wanted. And then they want to cry that they're a victim because their lives are destroyed by YouTube now, as they run and beg Channel 20 and lie to Channel 20 when they just told the Levy County deputies the truth and handed over the weapon that morning. How horrific is that? And if anybody was in my circumstance or your circumstance or our circumstance, I think you would have handled it way differently, because we've been beyond patient.
Yeah.
And we've laughed a lot during all the pain and all the torment.
Because that's the only medicine that's been able to work for us. So, and our awesome community, you guys help with the healing process as well.
And I think other people, if this happened to them, they would have taken matters in their own hands. And we have tried to allow the legal process to work, because that's the appropriate process.
Right.
And the Florida legal system has not. It has failed us time and time and time again.
Sergeant Kinnick did good by arrested.
And there are good deputies and there are bad deputies. And you're going to have that in any organization. There are good Otter Creek council members. There were bad council members. There may be bad council members right now. You're going to have good and bad everywhere. But this is horrific. These two grifters. This is horrific what they've tried to do, literally destroying out of jealousy because they didn't get what they want. And you can see the exact same pattern with other YouTubers. The childishness, trying to destroy somebody by saying something with no evidence whatsoever. If they don't have evidence, it's a lie. Therefore, it's illegal. It's defamation. And so you can see the same pattern. And you see us at our best, you see us at our worst. And yet God continues to bless, continues to grow. Now, money is tight. There's no doubt about it. We've got $180,000 that have gone to legal fees in 3 different courts right now. And what happens with when we're showing all of this on YouTube, people don't want to see this. They want to see us having fun. They want to see us treasure hunting. They want to see the big scores. They want to see us buying a unit with safes, and we love safes. We look at thousands and thousands of units to try and find them with safes. We love trunks. They want to see us score, which, by the way, we did on Friday after court. Court was extremely stressful. And then as George was flying, Christian Patience Pepper and I went to grab a unit that we got for $410, and it blew our minds.
I've been helping sort today and yesterday.
Sorting it for the past 2 days, and we're going so slow because everything.
There's so much good stuff. Yeah.
Everything.
Very little garbage. Very little garbage.
People want to see us having fun. They want to see us traveling. They want to see us treasure hunting. They want to see. And so, and it's also summer. What happens on YouTube? So YouTube, when you're in the cold months, YouTube views are up. In the summer months, YouTube views, they go to the bottom. And it's unfortunate, but we're not doing it for views. We care less. We're doing it for accountability. We're doing it for protection. If Levy County deputies, if the state of Florida will not protect us, the only protection we have is getting the information out there. And if anything happens to us, you know who did it. That's the protection we have right now. And to ensure that other stalkers, mentally unhinged individuals understand, if you do this to Jeremy and George, this is what your life is going to be on YouTube, showing all these dirty things you've done to these people, us, all the lies, all the hypocrisy, we could go on and on and on, right? It's setting a precedent. Do not stalk us ever. And for those who go, hey, Jeremy and George have problems everywhere they go. I find that odd because after a stressful Friday court hearing, and then George finally getting back to Cleveland, and we decided we just wanted to relax and have fun. And so we had a bonfire with friends last night, and one of our neighbors who we love and they love us, twice our age, came to the bonfire and is telling Conky and Noreen and Donna and Roy and Lisa and Rob, or Rob wasn't there yet, but
Rob
Roy and
came
Lisa
later.
And he's going, man, they're the greatest neighbors we've ever had. We love them so much. And and he's going on and on to our friends about us and being neighbors with us.
Yeah, that we're a blessing, and we feel the same way.
We feel the same way.
They've been a blessing for us.
We absolutely love them. We love them.
And they're in their 70s.
Would
you look at that? Would you believe that?
Because
we don't discriminate. We're friends with everybody.
They're good.
Yes.
Decent.
If you're decent people, we welcome you into our lives. But because of everything going on, we've just been pulling back and creating a tight circle, a small circle.
Very, very. And we have to at this point because of lack of trust for everything that's happened to us. But the funny thing is Dan was telling the group. So you have Mayor Dan in our village, and then we have a neighbor Dan.
He couldn't attend because he was at another function.
Yeah, we did invite Mayor Dan and his wife, but they were at another function. But Dan, our neighbor, was then telling them, there was somebody at Jeremy's gate. There's 2 guys in this car, and I was not nice to them, because they know everything that's happened to us in Florida.
So
And
he's very overprotective.
Very protective.
Mhm.
Very protective. And
Mayor
it's a
Dan.
blessing.
He said, "Where's my ice cream?"
Oh, Mayor Dan, we had fun last night, and the food was incredible, and the fellowship was incredible. But
Mayor Dan, we were gonna crash your party
we were
because we knew where you were. We went to the post office that day.
We were like,
saw
oh,
all
that's
the
where
signs.
Dan and Linda will
We
be.
saw all
We're
the
like, that's
signs.
where they're going to be, right there.
Yeah.
Like, we should go crash the party. But life goes on. And Dan, Mayor Dan, I didn't respond to your text yet about lunch. Just any day this week, just text me and we'll hit a meal and lunch together. We'll just probably where we've gone before, but just text me and let me know your schedule.
Do, mail real quick.
You want me to play the song?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about Otter Creek? I mean, what about town hall meeting? I don't want to get the mail yet. We got town hall.
Oh my goodness! So town hall.
We haven't even talked about town hall. We got to get to town hall.
There's a couple things I do want to address about town hall.
Okay, I'm ready.
A lot of people saw Dawn coming out of the town clerk's office, which is Belinda's office.
Okay.
And the reason for him being in there is because his phone started ringing. So he went in there to silence his phone.
So that's what he was doing.
Yeah. So he literally only took one step in there, silenced it, and then turned back around and came back out and sat down. So he wasn't doing anything sus in there. He just went in there to silence his phone and then sat back down.
And we did figure, so the past 2 meetings I haven't been able to fly down for. But we did figure out I can make it to the next one, right?
A lot of people were questioning, well, where was Joe? And clearly in the beginning, Zim had announced that he had family issues and was unable to attend. And so he's still a council person. He didn't drop out. Life happens, things happen. Therefore, he wasn't there. And then Rex was sworn in. So congratulations, Rex. Awesome. Looking forward to him. We don't know Rex all that well. I mean, we have met him, but we don't know him that well.
The first time we met him was at Bubba where I got
good
assaulted.
Impression. Yeah. I mean, we got a good impression and we got a good feeling and a good vibe from him as well.
I hate that they had to see me get assaulted. And we tried to explain to them, listen, this is the first time anything like this has happened. Florida is a mess and we've never seen anything like this before. And we apologize. This isn't what it's like, going out to eat with us. This is, it's bad. I'm putting town hall meeting in right now.
He is a businessman, so he will come to the table bringing open ideas, being open-minded versus closed-minded, like what we saw with former council people. You're not going to get the bickering and the arguing. And I was told that some of the other residents in Otter Creek that have lived there for years have confirmed that the yelling and screaming in town hall with previous administration has always been ongoing.
Well, once the camera started, they toned it down a little bit. You don't even know what you haven't seen. The insanity from Russ the Sus.
So the craziness of what we've shown has always been going on for years. The only difference is Jeremy turned on his camera.
And I wasn't the first one. Lynette and Crook were.
Yes, they started recording because they even knew that
they were
something's
against
not right.
Russ the Sus, Don the Con, Stewart, Mary.
And we shared some of the text messages with you of how badly she talked about that.
She wanted to fire Mary immediately. And we've shared it already.
She wanted Mary's job.
And now she's got nobody to rely on. But why didn't Russ the Sus take her into Chiefland? Why didn't Marla Hughes?
Why not the old man living on their property? He's got a vehicle. John doesn't have a vehicle. For those of you who say, well, Joe, why not John's car? He doesn't own a vehicle. Him and Lynette share a vehicle, the Jeep.
Nobody in Otter Creek took her to Chiefland. There was no friend to meet. And you don't meet a friend in the middle of Highway 19. You meet a friend.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Because did that friend have a car
seat? Especially knowing that she can't have this child with a metabolic disorder around anybody, including friends.
Remember, she said she doesn't allow anyone near the child. So where is this friend? Who is this friend that's all of a sudden allowed to be within 6 feet of her?
As she's 5 miles down the road on Route 19.
Because that makes sense.
Deadliest road in Florida.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. The foolishness that comes out of these fools' mouth is humorous. Well, that was our lawyer's closing argument as well.
It's laughable.
He was like, Your Honor, what they just said is at best, at worst, laughable. And like he was making fun of them. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
It'll be interesting. He pretty much said that we don't know. There's no confirmation that that's her white Jeep.
Yeah, how stupid. Like, come on.
Everyone knows her Jeep. It's a tiny town. Everyone knows what everyone drives.
Well, that's okay.
Her Jeep sticks out like a sore thumb. He obviously has no clue what type of Jeep she drives.
That's not her Jeep. That's not her getting out of her Jeep. That's not her filming you.
John.
That's not her filming you as she just got out of her Jeep. That's not John Crook, who's always with her, filming you as she just got out of her Jeep in front of Town Hall. That's
never
not.
Seen her in person.
Oh,
you think they video chatted or he just talked to her over the phone? He probably has no clue what she looks like or John. But did he see John's mugshot? He's got to know what John looks like now.
Yeah, it was fun.
John didn't have a haircut back then. He looked different to me.
At worst, everything they just said is laughable. And he goes, listen, the proof is already here. You know what to do. Go, fullest extent to the law. But she's not going to make a decision on Lynette until she hears Crook. She's doing. So it's going to
be a while before we.
So she's going to sentence them both at the same time. Or the better word would probably be making the decision at the same time.
Because they were both involved in willingly, knowingly violating the protection order and not leaving immediately and being within 500 feet of me. So,
continuing to taunt you,
mm-hmm.
to place you in a position of fear,
mm-hmm.
to
and I don't ever say anything to these people. I don't say anything. The last word I ever had with her was when she offered bread to my chickens. That's it. That was the last time I ever talked to her. And
we are scared. I'm 6'1", 230 pounds, and I'm solid like a brick house. I can take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. I live in daily fear of what they've done to us, mm-hmm. and what they are going to continue to do, and who's finally going to get popped one off. Popping that cap. I'm not scared of somebody's gender. I'm not scared of somebody's weight. I'm not scared of somebody's age. I'm scared of what they can do with something that weighs 2 pounds, and they are posted that
and
they're going to
their
shoot.
Mental instability is what causes fear. The unhingedness of them is what causes the fear on top of that, which is why we record for our own protection.
To try and destroy a man's life by saying they were rapping a little girl.
Mm.
That in itself is the most fearful thing in the world. Could you understand if I actually got convicted of that?
In the house.
Oh, Megan, you got the video, right, Megan? All right. Megan is incredible and a good friend, and we appreciate her support.
She's been a blessing.
Very much so. And so the fear of if I could have, or if I would have, she put my name with somebody else, Jeremy Hales, raped my daughter. She's a rapist. Art. My daughter.
You have to say art.
Could you understand if I would have gotten arrested, I would have been beaten to death in jail. I mean, Crook maybe is getting beaten to death right now. For all we know, we don't know. I would love to say I have a type of relationship where I could just go and visit him, but I don't want him anywhere near me, mm-hmm. and nor do I want her anywhere near me. We want them completely and totally out of our lives. They need to do their own thing, get better, get help, do what they have to do, and stay out of our lives. But they refuse.
Yeah. Yeah, she herself says she carries a pew-pew all the time.
Literally, we live in fear of what they're going to do next. And not only what they're going to do next, because birds of a feather flock together, the insane following she has and what they're capable of.
Oh, they're unhinged
next.
Too.
Because it takes somebody so mentally deranged to not see the evidence and to support someone like those two who is going to go and do something foolish. And we see people like that all the time. And I keep telling George, the world is getting crazier and we need to isolate. We need to pull back. I was even telling everybody, every time I have friends over at the bonfire, I'm like, you need safety. You have to get property where you're safe. You have to create boundaries. You have to. Like, safety and security is the biggest thing in our lives now. We never even thought about that or said those words before Lynette and Crook, and how they have damaged and changed our lives forever. Mm-hmm. Ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Town Hall. Next month I should be able to be there. Past 2 months I've been busy, and so we have Crooks court hearing on August 16th, and then town hall will be after that. So probably that weekend. Well, you'll fly here, and then we'll probably fly to Florida together for town hall meeting, and I'll be able to be there for that one and congratulate Rex in person, which I'm looking forward to doing. He'll be a great addition to the team.
I think so too. I'm confused where they're going to fit everybody, because if Joe was in attendance, where would have Rex sat?
That I don't know, but you want to grab some mail?
We've got some big old mail.
We got mail.
Where did this come from? I don't see a name.
Liz Barnes, Noreen.
Oh, this was
Conkey.
hand delivered.
Noreen and Conkey brought it last night.
Okay, I'll let you open it.
And they said, "Don't you dare peek." So I'm gonna peek right now. This is from Liz Barnes, and it is dun, dun, dun. Oh, and we got instructions not to read this.
Okay.
Even though it says yes, you can read, we got additional instructions. Do not read, based on circumstances that have happened in our lives. So, oh my goodness.
So
Jinx.
Liz Barnes is the one who took rock from the rock unit and turned it into something beautiful and made a cool what the Hales decoration on the rocks. That's cool.
That is cool.
That's like slimy boogers.
That is cool.
Coming down.
I'm gonna have to hand it over to you.
Natural artiste.
Thank you so much, Liz. Everything has to go that way. There is no space. We are backed into a corner. And it's so funny when people will get upset. How dare they just throw stuff over there? What do you want us to do with it? Place it on a shelf above our head?
Nothing has broken that you guys have gifted us, by the way. All right. This package is from Nina Lunsford, all the way from Texas.
Is everything bigger in Texas?
Ooh, how fun. You want to read the note and I'll read?
I will read
it
the
says
note.
May read or not.
May read. I think there's a 5 on there. There's a 6er.
Or not.
Thank you so much.
Look how
all
cool
right.
these are.
George and Jeremy. The utensils were found in my dad's stuff 27 years ago. I had them in my den hanging on the mantle, and the fork fell on the hearth and broke. Oh, no.
That's okay.
But since I moved and I had no fireplace here, I thought you might like them. Yeah, I'm going to put them on the screen.
These are awesome.
I'm going to put those on the screen of the patio. I've watched your videos for years now through YouTube, and I've only been a member for 6 days. Members rock. Members I remember even the rock unit. Love your shows and hope the madness ends soon. May God be with you and all your helpers. Love, Janine Lunsford. Thank you so much. And she just became a member. I don't know how many videos there are in the members playlist, but once you become a member on the channel, there's 3 different levels. So $4.99 a month is your first level. You get all kinds of designated emojis. Next level is $14.99. You get an additional live stream, which could be anything from sorting jewelry to personal time with Christian and Patience to we're sorting units to.
There's no set day or time of when we release the live. It just happens.
We have literally fixed Deanna's car. Deanna, it was a whole live stream of Deanna fixing her car. So there's a lot. She's a mechanic. It could be anywhere from 30 minutes to we've done it for 3 hours. And then at the top level, $24.99, then there's an additional video every
pre-recorded video.
Pre-recorded. And this one was all about preparation for everybody coming over. So it was released this morning as preparation about everybody coming over for the bonfire and the fellowship.
You get the pre-recorded video plus the live stream plus the loyalty badges and all the custom emojis. So you get all of that.
And if you go, well, I can't afford that. That's okay. You can't afford, if you can't afford that, you can't afford a hoodie either. People who want a hoodie will buy a hoodie, and people who want the additional content,
it's like backstage passes to a concert.
So
subscribing is free.
It always has been. It always will be.
Yeah, subscribing is just like following. like when you follow somebody. And then when you hit the bell icon, make sure you click on all. That way you get notified every time we release a new video when we go live.
The members, when they get the members only content, the thing they continue to say, it just feels so much more personal, because it can be. It's a smaller group. You know, YouTube has rules or best practices that helps YouTube be successful. Well, when we're doing members only stuff, we don't have to follow those rules. We just do, instead of going, well, YouTube works like this, so we have to do this, and YouTube does this, so we have to do this, and we have to do this when we're doing pre-recorded. So in my personal opinion, the best stuff goes out free for everybody. Okay. That's what you pay for when you go to a movie, right? You go see Lord of the Rings. You're getting the very best stuff. It's put out for the public, for everybody. That's the best stuff. And it's crisp and it's clean and it's clear. You're getting it for free. But then those who want the behind the scenes, the extra content, it's not polished, it's not clean. It's, oh, you know, Jeremy and George aren't perfect. Yo, this happened. They screwed that up. It's just real life stuff.
Nothing
and
scripted.
So nothing. Well, it never is scripted. It's just whatever happens in life sometimes. But it's, you get the best stuff for free, in my opinion. But if you're one of those people that go, I just want more and I want more and I want more, the unpolished behind the scenes, this is every day, is for members only. And those people who purchase it, they like it. And it's probably not for everybody, but some of it's fun, and some of it is emotional, and some of it is just goofing around. But at any rate, all right, I'm gonna.
So if you do become a member, there are pre-recorded videos that include Deanna and myself. We've done a handful of members only videos, and you'll see other volunteers featured in it, and it's been fun. Other
people from Otter Creek. And all right, this is from Chris from Chicago. I love your videos.
Chicago.
I like watching them. Chicken patches for George.
Hey,
patch for you, George. And you know the other one is for you, Jeremy. I hope and pray things get better in the court system for you and and with everyone else gets peace. Here's $5 to help with the cause. It's not much, but hopefully it helps a little bit, Chris. Money's in an envelope. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it truly is. And it's not an exaggeration. As a matter of fact, it's actually an under exaggeration that I'm rounding down to 180,000 is what we've paid so far. But the nice part is everybody is paid, including the handwriting expert, the forensic handwriting expert. And that was a tremendous amount of money for her expertise. And so everything is up to date. And frankly, we couldn't have done it without you at this point. And so it's put a tremendous amount of pressure on the budgeting and trying to budget for the business and with employees and what we have to do and things along those lines.
There's Liz Barnes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Liz. Well, she's a new member now.
So this package came from Harriet Williams, all the way from Georgia.
Oh, Harriet's creative one.
She is.
Oh, all right,
she did give us a heads up.
Okay.
Of all these custom items that she made. If you attended Half Meal Time to Girl, you'll know the buttons.
She made all the buttons.
Made all those. Oh my goodness.
The buttons. Oh my goodness. Are those 2-inch keychain pipes? These are 2-inch keychain pipes. Customized 2-inch. Oh my goodness. You've got to be.
This is hilarious. There's 6 of them.
Wow. All right, dear George and Jeremy, I hope these little trinkets bring you a bit of joy and small thanks for the great amount of joy and encouragement and entertainment and education that you give. I wove the Ghostbusters hangers on a loom. Oh my gosh, she did this on a loom. I wove the Ghostbusters hanger on a loom, even using tiny beads. I'm still working on the Elvis one for George. My great aunt, Janie Ruth, had a Queen Salesman sample stove, which George just had in her hand. I have one on display right now in the pit. That I played with as a child. Now you have 2. She knows what we have even.
2-town, baby.
Population 1.
Ghostbusters, baby.
For Hale's headquarters and one for Otter Creek. The other items I just couldn't resist making. The red Solo cups are perfect size for $4 bottle of wine when you celebrate around your bonfire. We do have that $4,000 bottle of
Winnie
wine.
the Pooh toys in here.
Please know how much you both mean to so many people and how loved you are. I pray daily for your safety and strength, and thank God for doing such great necessary work through you. I appreciate your friendship, and I'm blessed and, truth be told, still alive. for knowing you. Thank you, and God bless you, Harriet. Thank you. And
Look,
she put,
Conky even has a keychain.
look, Harriet put all these sayings on there. I plead the fifth. You're a bad man. Sue us. Love the Hudson sister mentality. Mark Feather.
Second Sense even has a keychain.
Oh my goodness.
Handmade with love.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is a box full of goodies.
Oh
my God, look at your face.
That pretty much, that's what it looks like.
It says Jet Propelled Jeremy.
I like it. The
That's your
origins.
face.
Yeah, it is. That looks like my butt too.
Here's the red
Ask
solo
Crook,
cup.
he'll know. This is for Jeremy. Oh my goodness, she hand wove this. Oh my goodness. Wow.
The little red solo cups.
Oh my goodness. I cannot believe she did this. These are beads. Cannot be.
Oh, how
This
fun.
isn't fabric, guys. This is
Wow.
beads.
That must have taken her a while.
Oh, this is handcrafted, one of one. This is the only one that exists in the world, and she made it. Wow.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Tomato ketchup.
Oh my
Yep,
goodness.
that's in
Here's
Painesville.
another one of you, Ghostbuster Jeremy.
Yeah,
That's definitely
like
your
that.
face.
I like that.
Here's a shirt. You can open that up.
Are you
Here's some
the mole?
ketchup candy cane.
Remember when all we wanted to know who was Marilyn Raby, who sucks fried gravy? Now
Yes.
everybody wants to know who the moles are. Everybody is a mole. Trust me. We can't even keep up with how many moles there are.
Body.
There are so many moles, and there are more moles that are going to be uncovered here in the future.
Oh,
Oh my goodness!
Come on.
Did she make that?
no, I don't think so.
I think she did.
Oh, maybe
I'm
she
pretty
did.
sure she did. That's Ecto Cooler. If you've ever tasted it, it tastes horrible, but it looks so cool.
It's like grapefruit. If you like
Yeah, it's
grapefruit, you'd
grapefruit.
love it.
It's grapefruit flavored. Thank you so much, Harriet.
Thanks,
so much
Harriet. That was so
creativity.
much fun.
All right, George. I think here's a book for you.
Winnie the
Here's a
Pooh.
book. Let's see where it came from.
The Ridiculously Comprehensive Dictionary for British Slang.
I thought this could be useful to either some of the British slang to describe your neighbors or in a more colorful manner, or to just have some fun and a laugh with using it for a game or something. From Shane. Of course it's from Shane Cook. It's from Shane Cook. Of course it is. He is so funny.
There's so many fun buttons that she made. There's a lot.
I believe it.
The 2-inch pipe is hilarious.
Do you want to play?
Hilarious.
Do you want to play with the buttons after the live stream?
Sure.
Okay, I'm cool with that. If you're cool with
Sure.
that.
I'll be taking some of these back to Florida with me.
Oh, thank you so much, Helen. Okay. Town, baby. Population 1. Town in a town. I need to write a Tube Town song. Once upon a time, not so long ago, somebody in court said, "Joe, you don't understand. Tube Town is coming."
And they're trying to silence me.
Well, we moved into a town with no one around, all to get away from the snow. Put in a 2-inch line, everything was fine, till they tried to steal all my dough.
Want to thank all of our moderators for helping us mod the live chat this evening. We appreciate you guys so much.
Mary was in town hall. She couldn't do math at all, just kept calling the law. Sent an email to Worm, hoping he confirmed that no one would know about her flaw.
Thank you to everyone that sent a super chat this evening and a super sticker. We appreciate the donations greatly.
Lynette and John, they're running their con, trying to get any money they can. Everything around them dies, and then she fakes and cries. We'll end up high river in a van.
Thank you to all of our members. We appreciate the love and support. Thank you to everyone that became a member this evening. anyone that upgraded their membership, and anyone that gifted membership. We appreciate you guys so much.
There was times all over town. Now they're taken down, but everyone knows who done it. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. They're living in a shed with no permit.
Hope you guys had fun tuning in with us live. We try and release a pre-recorded video every day at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, Monday through Saturday, and then we go live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Now Russ was texting down, telling them it's on. Let's give the world a show. We always wanted fame, now they know our name. In the meetings, always vote no.
Go ahead.
Well, they're all making threats. Fans are taking bets. Who's going to be the second in jail? Mary, Russ, or Don? Lionel or Lion Don? We just know it won't be. What the hells?
I mean, people want it to be, but it ain't. Say goodnight, Jeremy.
Good night, Jeremy.
Good night, everyone. Have a good night.